Oke, ini salah satu hal yang sangat menyentuh guys ya. Ternyata ia lakukan ini hanya demi untuk tinggal di negara Malaysia guys. Ya, termasuk bagi orang Inggris yang sudah cinta negaranya, yang sudah betah di negaranya. Tapi kalau tiba di negara Malaysia, ini yang terjadi guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Selamat datang, selamat berkunjung kembali ke channel ini. Halo guys, apa kabar Anda semua di sana hari ini? Aku sangat senang sekali. Mengapa? Karena kita dapat berjumpa lagi pada kesempatan kali ini guys ya, pada video ini. Dan aku selalu mendoakan agar semoga yang sakit lekas dapat disembuhkan dan yang sehat agar tetap dapat menjaga kesehatannya setiap saat. Amin. Guys, di sini ada pembahasan terbaru lainnya yang cukup menarik yang kita akan angkat pada video kali ini guys ya. Oke, di sini diceritakan kisah tentang bule asing asal Inggris ya guys ya. Jadi mereka ini berdomisili di Inggris. Ternyata suaminya berprofesi sebagai angkatan udara Inggris. Lalu tiba-tiba atasan dari suaminya ini guys menugaskan suaminya ke salah satu negara yang ada di ASEAN, tepatnya di Malaysia guys, dan itu di Penang ya guys ya. So mau atau tidak mau, suka atau tidak suka, suami istri ini guys, pasangan ini harus berangkat dari Inggris menuju ke Malaysia guys. Padahal anak-anaknya dititip kepada keluarganya yang ada di Inggris guys ya. Jadi hari demi hari, minggu demi minggu, dan juga tahun juga berganti guys, mereka lalui di negara Malaysia. Dan tibalah misi dari suaminya ini harus selesai, karena memang batas waktu yang harus diselesaikan suaminya ini di Malaysia adalah 3 tahun ya guys ya. Setelah 3 tahun dia harus kembali lagi ke negara Inggris guys ya, karena memang tugasnya seperti itu. Lalu memang sudah selesai lah guys ya masa 3 tahun tersebut, dan akhirnya suaminya ini dipanggil, di-call lagi guys oleh pimpinannya untuk kembali lagi dari Malaysia menuju ke negara Inggris. Tapi guys, sangat mengejutkan, ternyata istrinya ini guys belum mau untuk balik kampung ke Inggris guys. Ternyata ada salah satu hal yang harus ia selesaikan di negara Malaysia guys ya. Dan ia katakan bahwa hal itu sangat penting sekali guys. Nah, sebenarnya apa yang telah terjadi guys? Hal apakah yang ia maksud ya guys ya, yang sangat penting? Sampai-sampai istrinya ini rela meninggalkan suami dan anaknya di Inggris guys. Ia lebih memilih tetap di negara Malaysia. Nah, ini ceritanya sangat menarik guys. Hal apakah atau sepenting apakah hal itu rela meninggalkan suami dan anaknya di Inggris guys? Oke, sebelum kita mereaksi video tersebut, alangkah baiknya bagi Anda yang belum support, silakan kalian tekan dulu tombol subscribe dan aktifkan notifikasi bell agar tidak ketinggalan update video terbaru dari channel ini. Dan langsung saja guys, tanpa berbasa-basi, kita langsung mereaksi video ini. Jom!
Everyone, it's Taylor. I'm here in Penang with my friend Michelle, and I wanted to tell you about her because she's a most interesting person. But I want you to listen to her story first, and then we'll go on from there.
Hi, Andy, it's lovely to see you.
Yes.
Back in Penang. Well, I've been here since 2006. We came on the 1st of January 2006, and we came because of my husband's job. He was working here for 3 years with the Royal Air Force, the British Royal Air Force. And along the way, I became the president of the International Women's Association.
I didn't remember that.
Oh, it's one of those things that I did it by accident. It introduced me to a lot of different people, and it made me think that there were lots of opportunities to do things in Penang that didn't exist here already. When my husband's contract finished, I said to him, "I'm really sorry, darling, but I don't really want to go back to England." And he said, "Well, what do you think you're going to do?" I said, "I think I'm going to stay here." He said, "Do what?" I said, "I'm going to start a business." He said, "Doing what?" I said, "I'm going to do events." He said, "I don't think that's going to be very successful." So anyway,
Little did he know.
well, I don't know whether it's in the scheme of things, but anyway, I'm still here.
Is he still here?
No, he went back to England at that time because he was still in the Air Force. He retired and then he came here and we lived together as a family. And then when our children got to the age of doing A-levels, they went back to the UK and Steve went back to take care of them.
Okay.
Then, of course, with COVID, it's not so easy to travel backwards and forwards.
Exactly.
So, no, he's based in the UK at the moment and I'm based here. My business started 2010.
Oh, okay.
And during the time that I've been doing it, it has developed in different directions. You've seen some of that.
Yes, of course. I've participated in many of your events. You've sort of hinted about how it came about, just a desire to stay in Penang, I guess.
Sebentar guys.
And looking for something
Kita
that-
pause di
that
sini.
would-
Dan arah dari pembicaraan ini guys ya, ternyata salah satunya yaitu adalah dia memulai untuk membuka bisnis di negara itu guys ya. Nah, yang paling pentingnya di sini apa guys? Yang paling pentingnya bahwa kita dapat melihat raut wajah wanita ini guys. Bahwa dia terlihat sangat berseri-seri guys ya. Senyumannya sangat tulus ketika ia mengatakan ini guys. Begitu Malaysia dapat merubah hatinya, begitu Malaysia dapat merubah pikirannya guys ya, dia tentunya merasa sangat senang di negara itu. Kita lihat. Dan mungkin saja bisnisnya itu berjalan dengan lancar guys ya. Kita saksikan video ini, kita teruskan lagi. Live.
Keep you here, but what did you first do, and then how did it branch out from there?
So
Tapi bisnis
when you
apa itu ya, guys,
say
ya?
event manager in Malaysia, people normally think of is if you want to have a birthday party or a wedding or an annual dinner or something, then you call an event manager and ask them to arrange your event. So I did, I don't know, probably a year or so of that. And what I discovered is that, well, people tell you what they want,
Yes.
then you tell them the price. Then they ask you to reduce it a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
Discount. That's very big in Malaysia. Yeah.
Then you agree, and then they remember all the things that they wanted to add,
Yes.
but they don't expect to pay any more for it. I thought actually at the end of the year, if I'm not going to make any money, I'd rather make no money doing what I like. So
Exactly.
I thought I will, instead of doing events that other people would like, I will create the events that I would like to go to if somebody else was arranging it.
That's so true. I mean, that's, I think, how I met you, is you do tours to all sorts of places around Penang, not near and far. I mean, I went on the Taiping charcoal thing.
Oh
yeah.
yes, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's like a lot of coordination, though, to have the buses and everything.
Yes, everyone always thinks it's easy to do these sorts of things. But, even things like, I do quite a lot of trishaw tours. A trishaw is, well, you know what a trishaw is, but I'll just explain. It's
Well, I'll show
more
a
or less-
picture for people
Yes.
who don't know.
Okay, but it's basically a bicycle at the back with a seat at the front, and you sit in the seat, and the trishaw man pedals at the back. And it's a great way to see Penang. It's a traditional type of transport. You can go further than if you're walking, faster than and faster, but it's more intimate than being in a car.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I've done it once.
And-
I felt sorry for him because I'm so heavy, but
but this is their job, and some people put 2, 3, 4 people in a trishaw, so I only put one person at a time. I like to share what I found, and as you say, I do things sort of near and far, and
well, I like when we went to this mountain over here, I never would have even thought about going there. So, I mean, I've really enjoyed your tours. And
Thank
then
you.
Now you also do selling things and talk about how you started your Spiral Synergy newsletter.
Okay, so after I made the decision that I wasn't going to do events for other people, I would create the events that I would like to go to if somebody else was arranging it. People started to message me and say, I heard that you were arranging, different activities. Can I be added to your mailing list?
Oh, okay.
And once you get to a certain number, when you're sending out using Yahoo or Gmail, when you get to a certain number of sendings, you start to look like spam. I found an emailing service. In those days, there were not too many to choose from. There's more now. People are familiar with MailChimp. I've used Constant Contact for a long time, but there are others too. And so with one press of the send, you can send to 1,000 people, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, you know, however many people you have on your mailing list. And then I really started to make an effort to get people to join my mailing list.
Yes, you do a good job of that too. I mean, I see it everywhere.
It's not really about me, you know, it's about Penang.
It is.
I really love Penang, and I think it's got so many sort of hidden corners and things that when I discover it, I would like to share it. And so I didn't really want myself to be front and center. But during the whole COVID time, we had a dinner, and there was one single gentleman who wanted to join, and I said, you know, we actually, for my events, you can come on your own, you can come in a pair, you can come 4 of you, 5 of you, I don't care. But if you come on your own, you're never going to be on your own, because in the worst case, you'll sit with me. You know, if there's more single people, then we'll all sit together. I tend to attract a friend.
Before I moved to KL, Michelle also sells things on her newsletter, and where you can list all these furniture items and things like that you're selling before you move, and that was just so helpful for me.
That sort of started as an accident. The first thing that I was doing, as I say, was arranging visits and tours and lunches and so on. But somebody contacted me. I can still remember the person. He contacted me because he had a television that he didn't need. And to me, I thought it's really strange to have a TV that you don't need. Like, who has a TV they don't need? So he asked me, could you advertise it in your newsletter? And I thought, no idea. You know, I just put the picture in and said, okay, would anybody like to buy this television? Wow. In like 35 minutes or something, somebody called me up and said, I'd like to buy that television. Sure. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. You know, somebody wanted to buy the television. And I didn't agree with him any commission or anything, because I didn't have any expectation that it would be sold. Then later, like a couple of weeks later, somebody asked me, can you help to advertise my dining set? And I can remember him as well. And he said, what price can I ask? And I said, you know, maybe 1,500 if you don't mind waiting, maybe 900 if you want to sell it quickly. He said, let's try 1,500 and see what happens. Oh, I think about 45 minutes, and somebody called me up and said, I'd really like to have that dining set. And it was a local person who bought it. It was an expat who was selling it. And the lady who bought it was furnishing a rental apartment for expats. So in fact, over the years, I have sold a lot of things to people.
How many people do you send out the newsletter to?
I've got 5,138 subscribers or something at today.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, those are email. I have more than that on WhatsApp.
Do you mind me asking what kind of visa you have?
Yeah, sure. I have a work permit.
Okay.
I have a work permit. When we started the business in 2009, as you said, my reason for starting the business was really to stay in Malaysia. So I investigated different options, Malaysia my second home, but you were not allowed to work under Malaysia my second home.
Wow guys, oke kita pause di sini guys ya, kita pause. Oke, ini salah satu hal yang sangat menyentuh guys ya. Ternyata ia lakukan ini hanya demi untuk tinggal di negara Malaysia guys. Wow, ini tentunya sangat menggugah siapa saja guys. Dia berbisnis hanya memang untuk lebih lama tinggal di Malaysia. Wow. Betapa Malaysia itu bisa menjadi daya tarik ya, termasuk bagi orang Inggris yang sudah cinta negaranya, yang sudah betah di negaranya. Tapi kalau tiba di negara Malaysia, ini yang terjadi guys. Okay, play.
Work in it. You can,
you can just finance one.
You can direct it, but you can't be
and have all Malaysian employees.
But you can't be the one who's doing it.
Okay.
I didn't think Malaysia, my second home, was the right option.
Rumah keduaku adalah Malaysia.
So I thought, okay, I have to find a different way. And so I investigated the whole work permit thing. We set up a Sendirian Bahad. We went through the process of depositing the paid up capital. and then applying for a work permit.
This is the first time I've been to your apartment, your lovely apartment here in Pulau Tikas, and it's the center hub of Penang. Don't you find it just to be the most convenient place you can live?
This is just the most convenient location. You know, when we first came to Penang in 2006, we stayed quite close to here, also in Pulau Tikas. Once you stayed in Pulau Tikas, it's very difficult to move to another area.
Well, yes.
There's a fantastic market, as we call it, a wet market. Wet market because it's all wet on the floor.
Do you do a wet market tour?
I do, of course. I do a wet market tour.
I don't know that I went on yours. I think I went on some woman that did a cooking class. Yeah.
Pearly.
Yes.
Pearly. Pearly does an excellent market tour with non-new cooking.
Yes.
That's her speciality.
That was a lot of fun.
For mine, we go to the market. We normally gather up fruits that perhaps people that are either in season or people haven't tried before, and we gather up some of the different types of foods, some noodles, some of the like char siu bao, you know, like a barbecue pork bun, something like putu neon, you know, it's like a made of rice, flour and sugar, a coconut, and so we collect up a selection of breakfast items, then we come back and eat them here on my balcony.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, obviously, since you came to Penang with your husband on business and didn't want to leave, you would probably encourage people to move to Malaysia.
Oh, you know, for me, I would say I like Malaysia, but I love Penang. Okay.
Yes.
It's not the same thing at all.
It's been a difficult adjustment for me to move to KL. Now, I'm liking KL. After being there a year, I'm liking it better than I did at first. But, gosh, when I come back here, I feel like I'm coming back home.
Yes. And that's the feeling that I had. I had the feeling of being at home, of finding my place. People always ask, you know, why do you like Penang? What is it about Penang that you love? Is it the food? The answer is not the food. I think the food's pretty ordinary. I mostly...
You could get scout for saying that.
Sorry. But, you know, it's not the food, it's not the weather, it's the sense of community. And I don't think there's anywhere in the world where you can fit in so quickly. You know, where you can make friends. You can go to the supermarket and somebody in the queue
always
behind
run into somebody.
Well, either somebody you know or somebody you don't know will start to ask you, oh, where are you from? You know, what are you doing here? And the next thing, they're inviting you to something, or you know, or you go out the next day, you'll be in a restaurant and you see the same person again. And it's like, oh, I saw you yesterday. You know, and so it's a place where it's very easy to feel connected. There's a lot of activities going on, so that, you know, I don't know, you know, you want to see French movies, so there's French movies. You want to classical music, there's classical music. There's an airport with great links to, particularly to Southeast Asia. You know, so it's easy to connect via KL and Singapore to the rest of the world.
Dan guys, itu tadi video yang baru saja kita saksikan ya guys ya, bahwa poin-poin terpentingnya di sini guys. Dia rela melakukan apapun ya, dia rela berbisnis ya di Malaysia, hanya memang untuk menetap lebih lama di Malaysia. Ya awalnya sama dengan bule asing lain guys ya, yang mana mereka tuh sebelum ke negara Malaysia, awalnya tentu pasti ragu guys, bahwa mungkin Malaysia sama saja seperti negara-negara yang lain ya, nggak ada bedanya. Mungkin ada juga yang berpendapat bahwa Malaysia itu nanti dapat menipu mereka, ada banyak sekali orang-orang sindikat-sindikat kejahatan di sana. Mungkin ya guys ya, mungkin tentu ada orang yang berpikiran seperti itu ya. Bahkan bule itu sebelum datang ke Malaysia atau beberapa hari akan datang ke Malaysia, yang mana sebelumnya dia belum pernah ke Malaysia, dia ada berpikiran hal-hal demikian, hal yang meragukan dia saat ke Malaysia itu guys. Namun setelah ia sampai dan mencoba aktivitas segala sesuatu di Malaysia, apa yang terjadi guys? Setelah beberapa hari, setelah beberapa minggu, bulan atau juga tahun berlalu, ini yang mereka rasakan. Bahkan mereka tak ingin lagi pulang ke kampung asalnya guys ya. Dan juga pengalaman wanita asal Inggris ini guys mengatakan bahwa setelah suaminya pensiun dari Angkatan Udara Inggris, dia langsung meminta suaminya itu dan juga anak-anaknya terbang ke Malaysia dan berkumpul lagi, ya melakukan aktivitas seperti keluarga, merasakan kehangatan keluarga di Malaysia saja guys. Seru nggak guys ya? Yang mana mereka adalah orang kelahiran Inggris yang dibesarkan di Inggris, namun bila sudah ke Malaysia mereka rela meninggalkan segala sesuatu yang ada di Inggris guys, dan memilih untuk bertahan lebih lama di Malaysia. Ini adalah salah satu buktinya guys, dan aku yakin bahwa banyak bukti-bukti lainnya yang dirasakan atau juga dialami oleh bule-bule asing di luar sana ketika sampai ke negara Malaysia. Oke lah guys, demikian tadi video aku. Semoga video ini bermanfaat bagi kita semua, dan aku mohon undur diri. Mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan kata, kesalahan sikap aku kepada Anda semua. Mohon dimaafkan, dan aku akhiri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.